Well, if you're not quick enough, chances are you're going to see Dennis Lehane's latest book on screen before you have a chance to actually read it. Since We Fell is about a journalist who ends up on a search for her long-lost father and finds a whole lot of trouble instead. Lehane is already writing the screenplay for DreamWorks, and he joins us in studio this morning. Good morning, sir.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. So this one opens with a bang, literally, a gunshot.
Literally, yeah.
And Rachel kills her husband dead. I'm not giving anything away because it's the first line. This is the first line of the book. Yeah. It grabs you instantly, and this character, someone said, you'll hurt for her and root for her. Is this the kind of response you want for the characters that you write?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You want, I mean, I don't want to write nice characters. I don't want to write bad characters. I want to write just human beings people connect to. And Rachel is, you know, Rachel's on a, she's a little bit damaged when the book begins. You know, we meet her at a crossroads. She's kind of floating into agoraphobia. She's prone to panic attacks, but she meets Mr. Right, and life seems okay, and then that gets destabilized.
I want to get into the weeds with you a little bit about your process, because in your last book, World Gone By, you completely threw out the ending of the book that you had written.
Yeah.
And I heard that you did something similar with this one as well. Like these, do you fight with your books when you write them?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I usually, I'm like a 3-draft minimum guy.
Yeah.
Like I don't even, the first coat of paint, the first draft is just the first, it's like primer. And then I go, oh, okay, what am I doing here? What color do I want to put in? So with this book, what happened was we were all ready to go. The storyline was pretty much set. And then I said, I woke up one day and said, I don't feel like I've got Rachel on the page. I want to tell a story about her, how she became agoraphobic. And then that becomes the first really like 80 pages of the book. Boston is like the heartbeat for so many of your books. Yep.
But there's a little bit of Canadiana in this book.
There is.
You got a character, Brian Delacroix, who you refer to as, he's the only Canadian who doesn't know anything about the NHL.
Yes.
How did he get in a book? Canadians love when all of a sudden we pop up in books.
He just showed up, and I said, well, what's Brian travels a lot, so why does he travel? Oh, because he's not actually from the United States. And there's a tweak in the book, too, about how his voice, just his accent just sounds a tiny bit off. And so it's like, what is he? Oh, he's Canadian. And it was just this idea of I needed a guy who travels a lot. Like that's the key here, is that Brian travels. He's a salesman. And so it's like, well, so what's his background? Oh, he's Canadian. That was just the easiest thing. It's Boston, Canada. It's not all that far.
It is not. I lived in Montreal growing up, so it's a hop, skip, and a jump.
There you go. Yeah,
so many of your books turned into movies. Gone Baby Gone, Mystic River, the last one, Live by Night, is essentially, do you write a book and then the Affleck brothers just call you up and say, I want to be part of something? Yeah,
all the time. It happens all the time. They called me about your grocery list last week. Yeah. No, it's...
Or it's just been a happy coincidence.
It has been mostly a happy coincidence, and we had mostly successful, financially successful film adaptations. And then Live by Night did not do well at the box office, so I don't know if that's going to affect anything. We'll see. You know, you're only as good as the last thing you did.
What sort of working relationship do you have with these actors or the directors once the book becomes a movie? Because you've worked with Clint Eastwood on Mystic River, Scorsese on Shutter Island, of course, Ben Affleck on a couple of your films.
Well, it depends. It depends upon their level of wanting me involved and my level of wanting to be involved, or being even able to be involved. I like to talk to the actors if they want to talk to me. I'll be happy to do deep background with the directors if they want. But I'm not rushing to do it. I have what I've discovered now that I've been living in LA. I have a condition called set allergy, which is I don't like to go to the set. I just don't. It's not my thing.
Does it have anything to do with watching something that you've crafted as a book and seeing it come alive?
I don't think that's so much the issue as sets are really boring. They're really boring places to be. And my function on them is pretty nebulous. Like, I'm the guy who wrote the book. I'm far less important than the guy who brings the coffee. You know what I mean? Like, I'm way less important than the caterer.
Yeah, but to a certain extent, a lot of the actors and the directors, my guess would be they would want your blessing on certain aspects of the film as it is developed.
I don't know if blessing's the word. I think they want understanding. Okay. Like with actors, like Sean Penn and I worked really hard on Mystic River together. We spent a lot of time deep diving into that character. I would say, you know, Casey and I had a lot of conversations on Gone Baby Gone. Ed Harris and I had a lot of conversations on Gone Baby Gone. Shutter Island, Leo DiCaprio and I, and Mark Ruffalo and I had a lot of, but it's character discussions, nothing else. Again, I can't sit there and say, to Martin Scorsese, "Oh, Marty, I think the camera should go over there." I mean, that's just, you know.
No, so. I think you're smart enough not to know, not to do that. Dennis, thank you for stopping by today.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
All the best to you.
Pleasure. Thanks.
The new book is called Since We Fell. Author Dennis Lehane has been speaking to us in studio this morning.